So this is a rumor that's been heating up this past week, and it's the Indianapolis Colts potentially being interested in Sam Darnold. Now, if you're a Colts fan, I would definitely co-sign on this for sure. AR-15, I've made a ton of videos about him in the past, and I'm just not a big fan of him. I know he has a lot of skill and potential. He's a freak athletically, but as an NFL QB, as a leader, I just don't think he's that guy. And I really think they need to kind of look elsewhere for the future of that quarterback position for that franchise, man. And Sam Darnold potentially heading to Indianapolis, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. The fact that he gets to play in a warm weather division is definitely a good thing. I just think playing in conditions that are a lot safer and less stressful on the body, it gives your quarterback a better chance to be successful, in my opinion. Like, if Sam Darnold went to the AFC North and he had to play in the cold in November and December, I just don't think that would be a good thing. Like, if the Steelers potentially were interested in him, I would not like that move. And I know he played in the NFC North, but in Minnesota, home game, all those domes, and in Detroit, it was a dome too, so really he only has to play once in Chicago and once in Green Bay. So yeah, man, this report comes from Tony Paulini, and he had this quote to say: "So where does Darnold end up besides the Raiders and the Giants, the likely suspects? People think the Colts will be in the market for Sam Darnold. I mentioned several days ago that Indianapolis will look to add a veteran quarterback to the roster, not just the backup, but someone who could come in and start if Anthony Richardson falters. Darnold fits the bill." Now, Colts fans, let me know what you think about this news. Would you approve of Sam Darnold going to the Indianapolis Colts, or do you just want AR-15 to be the QB1 for the 2025 season? Let me know in the comments below. And if the Colts do sign him, you would think the logical thing to do would be to then trade AR-15, because if they do land Darnold, it's not going to be a cheap deal. To have both QBs doesn't really make a lot of sense. I feel like whatever contract Sam does sign, I think it's going to be at least for 3 years. And you do have to pay AR-15 soon. His rookie contract is expiring soon. So I just think it would make sense for them to trade AR-15. But who knows? You know, that Colts franchise is kind of dysfunctional, to say the least. So for them to have both of them on the roster for the 2025 season could be a likelihood. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I feel like you would get more if you traded AR right now than if he just sits on the bench for another year. But yeah, you let me know if you think they would trade him, or would they keep him with Sam Darnold if they actually do sign Sam Darnold. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, man, like, if Sam goes there, his only competition as of right now are the Houston Texans. I can't take the Jacksonville Jaguars seriously. I'm not big on Trevor Lawrence. I'm definitely not big on their new head coach, Cohen. The guy is an absolute clown, and I just don't have a lot of faith for that franchise. Cohen is definitely a questionable owner, to put it politely. So yeah, and plus you have the Tennessee Titans there. They were the worst team in football a year ago, so you can't really rely on them to be competitive in 2025. And even with AR-15 and Joe Flacco, the Colts were still, like a few games out of the playoff race in week 16, week 17, and then they lost to the Giants, and then it just all kind of collapsed. But this team is close. It's a lot closer than people might think. So I think adding Sam Darnold is definitely an upgrade over AR-15. No question about it, man. No question. And I think they could definitely make it to the playoffs if they do sign him. And they definitely have a better chance of doing that if they sign him rather than just having AR-15 to run it back with. Because I'm telling you, man, if he's the QB1 in 2025, week one, I'm going to be pretty disappointed, and I'm going to kind of feel bad for Colts fans because I don't know, man. In my opinion, I've just seen enough of him. I think he's a gadget player at best at this point. Maybe like a bridge QB, sort of like a Justin Fields sort of quarterback at this point. But to give him the keys come week one or at any point in the season is just ridiculous. But that's just me, man. Also, Jeremy Fowler had this report to say about the Colts as well. Daniel Jones, Trey Lance, and Jacoby Brissett are all QBs on the Colts' radar to bring in as competition for AR. So, Jacoby Brissett returning to Indy, I don't know, man. I mean, that definitely does not fire me up. I feel like the Colts fans already got the Jacoby Brissett experience there already. Once is enough. Trey Lance, one of the biggest draft busts in recent memory. I mean, you could take a flyer on him, but he did not look good with his time with the Cowboys. Did not look good at all. So I don't think they should go that route either. Daniel Jones, I think it might not be bad, depending on the contract, to bring in some sort of competition, but I just like Sam Darnold obviously a lot more than those three QBs. But out of Jacoby, Daniel Jones, and Trey Lance, obviously you gotta go with Daniel Jones out of those three. I still think he has some potential there, and who knows, I still believe in Shane Steichen as a play caller to a certain extent. I know his time with Indy, especially a year ago, has been rough as a head coach, but who knows, maybe him and Danny Dimes could get something going. You never know, man. And honestly, I think Zach Wilson should be in the mix as well. I still think he has potential. Maybe not to be like a top 15 QB in the league one day, but just to be kind of like a bridge QB. And I think that's what the Colts need to do going forward until they get rid of AR-15. They kind of need a somewhat capable bridge quarterback to kind of steer the ship, because it's not a bottom feeder roster, man. Like I said, they were really close to making the playoffs, so if they could just get good quarterback play to okay quarterback play, I think this team could definitely be in the mix for playoff contention in the year 2025. So let me know if you agree with me. Do you like Sam going to the Colts? Do you think AR-15 should be the Colts QB1 again? Let me know. If you made this far, please subscribe, like the vid, and help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
The Titans might have been caught off guard there on that fourth down play.
Well, why? Why would you be caught off guard in a situation like this? You always have to be ready on the defensive side. That time they were not.
First down at the 36. Jason Morrow makes the catch.
Arm strength is a nice thing to have when the window of opportunity is very small. Quarterbacks with strong arms can still fire it in there. Nice throw right on target by the QB.
Second down and 7. It's Marshall. Marshall's taken down at the 26.
The Jets understand, just get whatever yards you can every time you run a play. That's what they do that time. It's a short completion, but look what position it puts them here in on third down. This is something they can handle.
That is play number 10 on this drive. Glad to have you back as we come out of the 2-minute warning here in the first half. He's brought down. That's going to bring up fourth down. The offense back out on the field here for this fourth and short play.
They're changing things here. The quarterback changing. He's giving the receiver some new instructions.
And Morris is stopped there. The offense picks up another first down and extends this drive.
They are, Jim. They're marching down the field, and I give all the credit to the offensive line. They are dominating the defense right now.
First and 10. Brandon Marshall has the grab. Jets are in the end zone. Marshall's caught his first touchdown of the season. The Jets offense looks unstoppable. Touchdown drives the last 2 times they've had it. And here they go again, Phil.
Yeah, they've been very good, Jim. They're taking advantage of situations and scoring touchdowns, and we know that's what you must do. If you don't get these touchdowns, what happens later in the game, it always comes back to bite you.
That'll be 2nd and 4 after the running play.
Let's go.
And Morris is going to take the handoff now. He's averaging about 3 yards a carry on the day. The Jets lead right now, but you will see that not everything is going their way. And Morris has had a tough one, especially down the stretch. If they want to control the game, you have to think they're going to go back to him for some more touches and try to get it right.
That's right. Keep giving him the football. Keep mixing the plays up. Don't get obvious in your play calls. If you do, the defense will have everything on their side.
The Titans with a nickel look here on defense. Unable to bring it in.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit there, don't you, Jim? They are all over the receivers, all over the field, nowhere to throw it, and it just results in an incompletion.
2nd down and 10. Handoff made. And Morgan's in.